Hi everyone. I was about to go to bed. I know I got a stain on my bandana. Still don't know where that comes from. Um, I was about to go to bed. Um, when I thought that, fuck it, I'll just come online and just talk about this situation. Um, Today, one of my relatives was taken into hospital early in the morning. In the early hours of the morning, you're talking about like 5:30 in the morning. And they complained about really, really deep pain in their spine because this person suffers from sickle cell anemia, and they're also they're also nearly in their 60s, so they're very, very vulnerable in their condition. And this person called me up at nearly 4 o'clock in the morning saying they're in pain. I said, please ring the ambulance as quickly as possible. They tried to avoid it. They went to they tried to avoid it until, about an hour later, they couldn't stand it anymore, and they called the ambulance. And it's this person's belief that because they drank a bottle of cold water, that it caused their spine to seize up. This is what I believe actually happened. Because the person that I'm talking about has next door neighbours that have access to electronic weaponry, and I know because I felt them use it, my belief is that it was them causing her spine to hurt. Because the thing is, a lot of my family are in on this, or are stalking me, who are either being hired or being used. But the thing about this gang stalking program is that it doesn't matter whether you're hired, used, or what. It doesn't matter. You're going to be tortured alongside. They torture everybody on this program. Okay? And they torture everybody on this program in order to manipulate them. So with this person that was calling me on the phone complaining about what pain they're in, what's happened is that the Freemasons have actually, the informal collaborators with the Freemasons anyway, they timed that particular incident around the time of my period because I'm menstruating right now. And the reason why this is important is because normally when I menstruate, I have all kinds of emotional instability. I've been saying it since I was a teenager. I've been saying that hormones have been the reason why my mental health is acting up. And of course, they've conveniently ignored me because it's important to them that I'm not actually healed and that I keep being destabilized for their benefit. So they're never going to diagnose me correctly. So basically, I've been saying that hormonal problems have been causing me to have really bad mood swings, really bad crying fits, and all that kind of stuff, which kind of explains what happened in December. Sometimes the PMS symptoms can be so bad it can last like about a week or two, like before the period drops. Because the thing is, when I'm ovulating, that's when my emotions kind of act up too, because it's like ovulation happens like a couple of weeks before the period. Anyway, they timed this incident with my relative just in line with my period, and they do that so that they can emotionally destabilize me and that they can get me to act in ways that will get me landed in hospital. Now, the reason why I haven't been reacting in the way that they wanted is not because I don't care. I know what I did on YouTube, and I know that I made a video on YouTube about another TI that was very emotional, very heartfelt, yada, yada, yada. But you have to understand that I reached a threshold with the abuse where I'm just kind of detaching myself from what's going on. So I'm in a different space altogether than I was when I was making that video in December. That's A. B, I'm used to this trigger. This trigger's already been used on me before. Like, attack this person, get them hospitalised while I'm on my period. This has been done before. So I know what the tactic is. They're trying to destabilise me. Next thing I know, somebody else in the house is going to start fucking bothering me. And that's when We get into a fight. I start being accused of being destabilized mentally and all that kind of other bollocks, right? That's what they like to do. That's what they always do. The support worker has been crossing my boundaries. Weakling's been crossing my boundaries. Amoral has been staying way out of the fucking way. They got ways away from me. Finally, but that's what they always do. They always engineer situations where my mother's in hospital, I'm on my period, and somebody somewhere is crossing my boundaries when I specifically ask them not to, in the hope that it will get me into an argument with them. So this person has finally found a bed to rest in. I'm probably going to go and see them tomorrow. So that's that portion out of the way. The next portion is to the connection to Freemasonry and the National Crime Agency. Now, there's this TI called Gary Owens who talked about the British drug mafia, the connection to the NCA and Freemasonry. So what it is like this, right? You've got British drug mafia bosses that are Freemasons, and then the NCA liaise with those Freemasons to get lower level criminals banged up and charged. So a lot of informer collaborators are lower level criminals, you see, or they have some sort of criminal record on their back that the MI5, MI6 or the NCA can use against them. And that's how they get them into these programs, usually via blackmail and bribery. Now, the Freemasons are after me, right? And they think it's the London Freemasons. I had a suspicion it might be the Swiss Freemasons because they've been showing up on my tracer route. I've been getting France and Germany on my tracer routes. So I thought it might be the Swiss, I thought it might be the Swiss Freemasons because I've actually had visions of white children being abused and sacrificed, abused in the Swiss Alps by other white children. So I thought it might be Swiss Freemasonry against me, but I think it's actually London Freemasonry that have been to Switzerland, and I think those are the ones who have been stalking me. I believe that they're also connected to MI5 and MI6. And here's the thing now, in Freemasonry, I think MI5, MI6, police, GCHQ, there are specific members of those groups in Freemasonry, right? So when it comes to something like this and you're on a blacklist, what they do is they kind of liaise with each other in order to get informer collaborators that could have something against them that can be used. And that's how they're hired into this program. Another thing that I found out is that the National Crime Agency use radar cameras to spy through walls. And I'm willing to bet that it's that kind of technology that's exactly in a bathroom. And in fact, it might even be in our smoke alarms in the house. So, to recap, the Freemasons, their informer collaborators, basically attacked one of my relatives in the back with an electronic magnetic frequency weapon, made them think it was a sickle cell crisis, had them hospitalised at the precise time when my period was dropping, because they've been watching my cycle, right? So that I would be emotionally destabilised and start an argument with somebody in the house. Second, there is a direct correlation between the Freemasons and the NCA. Thanks to Gary Owens for spilling the tea. There's a direct connection between gang stalking and the NCA. Gang stalking and the NCA. Freemasonry, gang stalking and the NCA are connected. And there was somebody from, I forgot to tell you, there was somebody from the NCA, and I reported this on Twitter years ago. There was somebody from the NCA who dropped around to speak to Vanessa Catani in particular. And Vanessa Catani was the one who said that somebody had files on me. And I'm willing to bet that the National Crime Agency were those middlemen. So that's second. Third is that the NCA have radar cameras that can see through walls. And my guess is that it's one of those type of cameras that's actually hidden beneath the, hidden in the drywall in the bathroom, and might actually be in our smoke alarms all around the house, because if they're covered but they can still see, then it's the perfect camera. I mean, you can cover it and you can still see people. It's perfect. So that connects the NCA with all of this. The NCA is connected to everything that I'm going through right now. I had a dream once where I saw my name and a relative of mine's name in a list, and we were highlighted. It was like a whiteboard. And there are a bunch of people standing around watching those particular names and basically judging us on the likelihood of us, the likelihood of us committing crimes or something. It was in a dream, so I can't say that this is like fucking facts or whatever. But I think I'm getting closer to finding out exactly why this has happened to me and what for. Because I think that myself and a member of my family have been on this list for a very, very long time. And I think it's something to do with pre-crime, experimentation into pre-crime. Again, it's just a theory. It's just a theory, all right? But whatever the reason is, trafficking is wrapped up in it. Drug trafficking, money laundering, human trafficking, all kinds of trafficking. Every single crime you can think of is wrapped up in gang stalking, and the NCA are connected to all of it. The special police are connected to all of it. Intelligence services and security services are connected to all of it, and especially Freemasonry and other groups such as the Rosucrucian Order, who have also been following me low key. The Rosucrucian Order, the OTO, most definitely, the Ordo. Hang on, let me check out the name. It's the OTO. Let me check out the name. It's Ordo something. It's to do with Aleister Crowley. And those are like the Scientologists and things like that, the Satanists and all that kind of thing. So it's OTO. The fuck? Why is this camera always greasy? What the fuck? Hang on. Let me find out the name. And they're a sex cult, this one. It's a sex and death cult. OTO. So, it's some member of the Ordo Templi Orientis that are also after me as well. So it's the Rosucrucian Order, the Ordo Templi Orientis, and especially Freemasonry. So those are three secret societies that I know about that are wrapped up in my particular case, yeah? And I thought it was the Swiss, but I don't think it's the Swiss. I think it's London Freemasonry that are, somebody in London Freemasonry who's close with Switzerland that are doing this to me. Because I've had visions about this stuff before I even knew about gang stalking and how deep it went. I had visions about this shit. And this has been going on since I was a child. Helicopters following me since I was in high school. Maybe even earlier than that. This shit goes deep. So, all these crimes that are being perpetrated against me have been perpetrated against me since I was young, since I was a kid. And the National Crime Agency have got their hands all over it. Now, I don't know how long the National Crime Agency have been involved, but they've been involved. I'd be willing to bet that they've been involved like since I was a teenager at least. I think it might have been happening since my mum and dad split. I think it might have been that long. Maybe even before that. And that was when I was 8 years old. So this shit has been going on for a long time. So once again, to recap, and I'm going to fucking repeat this because I want this to sink in. Okay? First, Freemasonry. Let me get the fucking name again. Sorry. Hang on, let me get the fucking name. God damn. Hang on a sec. Okay. The first thing is, there are 3 secret societies that I know of that are involved in my case. Freemasonry, the Ordo, Templi, Orientis, which is Scientology, Satanism, that kind of shit, and the Rosucrucian Order. Those are 3 secret societies that I know that are involved in my case. That's 1. 2, MI5, MI6, GCHQ, the Special Police, and especially the National Crime Agency, which is the missing link to all of it, have all been involved in my case through a network within a network. That's 2. 3, the hidden camera in the bathroom. Such technology has been used by the NCA before. It's in the public papers. You can check the Mirror. You can check the Mirror's website for that article. In fact, it's even on my page. The NCA are the responsible for the hidden camera in there. And there might be other hidden cameras that have a similar function, that have an infrared function. Number 4, there was somebody from the National Crime Agency coming here looking for Vanessa Gitani, who is one of the stalkers who are kind of higher up. Remember, you had Brent Mine staff members offering to give her a lift. No Brent Mine staff member is offering to give Amoral a lift, Weakling a lift, and anybody else in this house being offered lifts and shit. Why does Vanessa Gitani get one? She's high up, and the NCA came around looking for her. So they're involved in my case. And they've got files on me. What kind of fucking files? That's what I want to know. What is in the fucking files? What's in the files that are so important that that me and this other female relative of mine need to be stalked like this? What file? What file could possibly be so important that this would need to be happening to me since childhood? Now I gotta go. Now I gotta go. So if you see me like in pictures, like posing and doing all kinds of different things, and it's not because I don't care about what's happening to me. It's because I've accepted what's happening to me. And instead of trying to fight so hard, I've been like, you know what? Let's try a different approach to this. Because there are a million and one different ways to deal with this that don't always involve cussing people out. And now I gotta go. So, with all this in mind, I'm just chilling out for now. It's over. They know it's over. I know too much. So, with that, I'm going to leave you guys. Thank you for watching. I know I was rambling a lot, but yeah, you got to forgive me. I'm tired. I'm on my period. I'm crampy. I've got hospital shit going on. And, oh God, this whole thing is just crazy. The amount of stuff that's unraveling, the rabbit hole is just like there doesn't seem to be a limit to how deep the rabbit hole goes. But I'm going to see you guys later. You take care of yourselves. I love you. Thank you for sticking with me through this rambling bullshit. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.